Hi, I'm Patrick Hedger, Vice President of the Taxpayers Protection Alliance, and I am so privileged to be joined today by Misty and Phil Money of Six Money Creations. And today we're going to talk a little bit about their small business, the challenges they've faced this year, this unprecedented year, and how they've used technology to thrive and survive in what has been a really difficult year for us all. So again, thank them so much for taking the time to join us. Phil and Misty, just to get started, tell me a little bit about your business. What do you do and what motivated you to get started?
Um, yeah, I was going to say, you're going to learn really quickly. I'm kind of the talker and Phil just is kind of the support person. But we started in January of 2016. I was a stay-at-home mom of 4 children, and it was Phil and I, so thus the name Six Monies. There were 6 of us at the time. And he was in between jobs, and I felt the urge to try and find a way to bring in some extra income just to alleviate some stress. So on a complete whim, we started this decorated apparel business and had no idea where it was going to take us. We are from small town, Ohio, a very, very small town in Ohio. We are in the Amish country of the world. We are not Amish, I promise, but a lot of people come here for the Amish, but not so much, they don't, it's starting to grow a little more with other businesses and such, but the primary thing that people know our county for is Amish. At the time when we started, we lived in a town of 250 people. And so we relied heavily on our local customers coming to us for their decorated apparel needs. And yeah, that's pretty much kind of how we started. And it's completely taken a turn due to using Facebook and Instagram and some of those online methods that we never ever thought possible.
Well, that's great to hear. And certainly glad for the purposes of this interview, it's a good thing you're not Amish. I don't think we would have been able to do it. So
Probably not.
But Amish country is great. So that's interesting to hear. Can you talk about how this unprecedented year, the pandemic, has affected your ability to sell your products and services, and how online platforms such as the Facebooks and the Amazons of the world may have helped you continue that business in the age of COVID-19?
I think a lot of it for us is we were unable to do, we like to be out in the community, and we've consistently done that, whether it be like the county fair or a trade show or whatever the case may be. We try to do that, once a month, between once a month and once in a quarter, where we can't do that now because everything is basically closed. So I think for us, going live and being able to use the ads, the Facebook ads, to draw people to the business has been huge help for us.
Yeah, it's definitely been, it was a total shift for us. We had been saying, one of the goals I wrote down in the beginning of January was to try and figure out a way to grow across the US. And I really thought it was going to take us quite a while to do that. But for over a year and a half prior to 2020, I had this vision to create a t-shirt of the month club. And we started to process that. And we started with just 12 people in February. I started with this core group of people that said, yeah, well, we'll try it out. I have 12 people. And I'm like, okay, well, we did it in February. And then March came and they automatically renewed into that. But I had started talking outside of my regular group of people, to my audience on Facebook and Instagram, and kind of said, here's what I'm thinking, and trying to get people excited about it. And then March of 2020 comes when I'm supposed to be launching this new idea and this new club, and everything around us is being shut down. Mm-hmm. Our entire calendar completely fell apart. Everything we had planned throughout the year, completely collapsed around us. And it was like, what do we do? Do we continue to try and launch when everybody is in a state of unknown? But something that we pride ourselves in is if we say we're going to do something, we find a way to do it. And so I had already started talking about it.
The year for that.
Yeah, it definitely has been the year for that. So I just kind of said, okay, we're going to try it. And so we went and we launched out to the public. And so April would have been the first month that they received their t-shirts. And we are just continually growing the club. And we're now in 26 states across the country that we have members that receive, they're part of our t-shirt club. So it was a huge pivot for us, but without having the ability to share about it through online platforms, I don't know what we would have done as a business. That was a huge pivot for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you're really limiting your audience when you're not out and about. And that to us is really important for the relationship side of it. So, developing relationships through the lives, and, that's, it's different.
It's different,
but it's good. And I think that Misty's done a real good job with that and connecting with people and being consistent about it, and doing what we were saying we were going to do. Yeah.
Well, it's incredible to go from starting in a town of, you said, less than 250 people to now being in 26 states, having customers in 26 states that's incredible. It's a great story. And that sounds like something that would be very difficult to do, but did you find that these services were easy to use or hard to use?
Honestly, I think it can be difficult to use if you aren't really in tune with your target market. And so for us, that was really key. I had just started towards the end of 2019, really starting to develop some skills of, really taking a look. Our business could be for anybody. I mean, decorated apparel, who doesn't love t-shirts? We can put just about anything on anything for people. And so we really just had to kind of pull back, because I'm kind of I can do it all. And we realized, that's not necessarily always the best. So really just defining who it was that our audience already was and how we could start to speak to them. And so that's really what I just really narrowed down and niched down. And that helped us use the tools that were available to us in a much better way. I know it may be surprising, but it was not natural for me to go live. I absolutely can't stand to look at myself on camera or hear myself. And it was everything that I could do to try and avoid it. But I would say being able to just put yourself out there, becoming a face for your business has been really big for us, and help people to realize people.
I think now that you're consistent with it,
it is easier.
Yeah.
I mean, you do with anything, it does get easier with time.
And you kind of have a relationship with the people that are on.
And that's the cool thing, is I am a people person. And once all those shows and, our opportunity to be out within the public was taken away, this has kind of been an out, not only for us, but for our customers as well. And it's been really good to be there for our customers. I mean, I have people that have reached out to me that were terrified because they were going to be going through surgery. And I was able to just kind of encourage them. And, they ordered apparel from me, and I, just encouraged them, and just kind of remembering that. So if you're on a live and they pop on and you can go, oh, how are you feeling? How is the recovery process? I've never met them in person, but just to know that someone's out there that cares. And I feel like more than anything in 2020, that has been huge for us, because we truly do care. And the relationships that we've been able to build with people since we've all kind of been home has been really good for us and our customers. So it's been kind of neat to see how that's all kind of just developed.
Oh, it's a great story. And I think anybody that's watching this is going to find that part where you said that you were apprehensive about going live before and didn't like hearing your own voice. They're going to be very surprised by that. I think you're doing a great job so far. It's a great story. So, to kind of get into the nuts and bolts a little bit and talk dollars and cents in business, I mean, have you found that focusing more on these online platforms has decreased your overall business expense? I mean, what's happening to your profit margins?
They definitely have increased, and it's cut down on our time. Because we've been able to, we don't have a brick and mortar store, and we were kind of starting to think about that. A a little more. I'm glad that we haven't went that route, because it would have been a huge struggle for us to have to try and keep up with the rent and all of the utility expenses and such.
Sure. Right.
And because we were used to going out into the community and doing these shows and packing all of the stuff up and, you know, spending the hours to set up and prepare for all of that and having all that inventory ready, by us being online and being able to share that way, it has really decreased some of that overhead expense for us, which has in turn made us a lot more profitable and time-wise. And because we create our own products, it's been really great because we can print on demand, and we can get items on demand. And so we aren't sitting with a whole bunch of overhead from a show that we created that maybe we didn't sell. Yeah. So it's, again, a whole completely different mindset this year for us. But it really has in turn made a big difference.
I would say it keeps you more, this year kept us more focused because we were here, you know, so we were constantly working on it, preparing for the next step, you know, running the next ad, you know, her, as far as Misty goes, like preparing her lives that way. So she knew what she was going to talk about, what she was going to market. I think it really focused us, especially probably the second half of the year more so than,
For sure.
The first half of it was probably just trying to get everything together to
figure out what in the world it was going to look like, because
of the way
everything
everything
was different.
happened. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're here now at the end of 2020, thank goodness, and hopefully, so a reprieve from this pandemic is on the horizon. Have these online outlets, these platforms, these services, they've obviously changed the way that you think about your business, certainly this year, but going forward, assuming that we get back to normal here in some point in the near future, what are your plans going forward for working with Facebook and other online services?
I personally think that we're going to continue.
Yeah, I don't think anything that's going to change.
Yeah, I don't see it changing at all. We have kind of figured out our way, but we're not experts by any means, but we're really finding our way to truly thrive in this online community. And it's been fantastic for us to be able to grow, like I said, across the country. One of our hopes and dreams is to be able, if we decide that we want to pick up and move from our very cold Ohio to someplace warmer, my hope and dream, we're not stuck, that we can just move our business. Our income is going to still be there. Our customers are going to have little to no impact on it, and we can just continue to go. So yeah, I truly don't see us, in fact, as much as we enjoy being out in the community, and as things start to open up, I'm sure we'll still, you know, be out there, but we don't feel like we're stuck and we have to do that. Yeah.
I think we felt like before that was like our advertising in a sense, where now we have the tools to be able to use online.
Yeah, for sure. And expand. We do have a web page, but we're looking to expand. So many people have said, like, are you on Etsy? And I'm like, no, we just really haven't had the time. So that's one of our goals this year, to expand into the Etsy world and, you know, market through that. In addition, our t-shirt club is ultimately our big thing, because I love to give gifts, and it's like every single month I get to give a gift to customers. It's a surprise, which again, totally wasn't in my idea, but my customers love a piece of happy mail, because how many times as adults do we get anything in the mail that's a good surprise? We never ever do. So now I have people consistently going, are you going to give us any sort of hit for this month? Like, I want my bag to come. We have these, here, show me one. We have these cute little bags that everyone knows. I did take it out. I have a specific spot that I put, here it is. We have our little black and white bags with our 6 Monies t-shirt club on it. And people specifically, their kids now, when they see them in the mailbox, their kids want to open it. And I have ladies go, nope, that's my mail. That's my gift. And so again, it's another way to spread a little bit of happiness in this time of unknown. And yeah, so we're excited to really try and grow that and see, how far it can get us. My goal is to be in all 50 states. I'm not sure when, hopefully by the end of 2021. You never know.
Oh, that's incredible. And, all of us really appreciate that there's folks like you out there trying to spark a little bit of joy in a otherwise pretty dark and trying time. So we thank you for that. And, I guess I'm sure there's lots of folks out there like you that would like to be doing sort of similar things and growing their business and trying to create a little bit of joy in this world. Do you have any advice for small businesses that are out there that may be where you were a couple of years ago and are just trying to get started, just trying to have these creative ideas and interactions with their customers and grow their business, that may not be using these online services yet to their full potential?
Yeah, I think my biggest piece of advice is to really, truly take some time and to figure out who it is that you want to market to and who your ideal customer is. And once you're able to figure that out, just start interacting and finding a way to be yourself. That's one thing I tell everybody's like, oh my gosh, how do you do it? I'm like, don't try and be me and don't try and be Phil, just be yourself. And people want to connect with people and people buy from people and the relationships. So be yourself. And yeah, you do kind of have to put yourself out there. I always we're constantly now taking pictures or showing behind the scenes. We have a little fluffy dog Dash that everyone's getting to know because he's always down here doing stuff. But truly with business, you can be yourself and show little tidbits of not super, I mean, people think they may know us, but they don't truly know all the personal, deep, dark things that are going behind the scenes here, us losing our minds or whatever, so we're trying to do things. But just be you. Find that market that you want to target to and talk to them. Just be a person.
Authenticity is very important.
We wanted to give you the opportunity as a small business in Ohio to say what needs to be said to people here in Washington, members of Congress and the administration on both sides of the aisle. What do you think they need to hear? What are the 2 or 3 things that need to be heard from a small business that's operating on online platforms in Ohio, given everything that's happened this year and going forward?
Hey, what I was saying is our small businesses need to be heard. We need platforms, and we can't be restricted from using those platforms. I mean, as everybody knows, small business is hurting, and we've got to be seen and heard from. I think that's what I said. Yeah,
that's true. And I think I know one of the things that we never relied upon until this year was the power of being able to advertise online by using ads.
Yeah.
And I don't want my personal information out there like the rest of us as a consumer. But I do think it's important that it's easier for us to be able to target some of those people so that we can be seen, especially as a small business. I mean, clearly we're not the, big department stores or the, Bath and Body Works or whatever, but we have a service that we are trying to take advantage of as well. And without small businesses like our family, I don't know where we would be today if we wouldn't have these online platforms. It has, and so just remembering us and not, restricting the way that we're seen, and maybe even, promote us a little more than, these big companies. That would be amazing.
Yeah, because I mean, when it boils down, this is our livelihood. Like, this is what we do. Like, we don't live off the excess. Like, this pays the bills. This keeps the employees. This keeps the lights on. This helps us, to reach somebody and have a relationship with them. Like, that's very important things. Like, and it's all part of being in this this pandemic that we're all in together.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I really appreciate your time. I wanted to give you just a few minutes here at the end. Promote your website. Where can people find you? Where can people sign up for the T-shirt club? Because this sounds like a great product, a great service, and I think everybody could use a little bit of joy, as you said, in their mailbox these days. I know I just got a jury notification notice, so I'm probably.
Oh my gosh, you did too.
Yeah. So where can we find you? Tell us.
You can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Six Monies Creations. And then we have our webpage, sixmoneys.com. It's the number 6, and then moneys.com. And on there, if you click join the club, you're going to see we have 2 different offerings of the club. One is for just any type of female that wants a fun, trendy shirt surprise. Don't forget, it's a surprise that arrives at your mailbox each and every day. We also have one for small businesses. It's called our Crafty Tees. And the messages on those shirts, kind of like the one right like in the center that says crushing goals, are kind of geared more towards a small business owner, meant to be inspirational, but also something that they can wear out and about and maybe spark some interest and some conversation with other people, you know, and give them a way to be able to share about their business. And then we have a combo club because we have some people that want both shirts every single month. And so all of those are on our website. And yeah, we'd love to have you. It's a lot of fun. Absolutely. And yeah, thank you so much for giving us this opportunity. We truly appreciate being able to share what we've been able to do throughout 2020. It has definitely nothing that we ever envisioned, but it truly has worked out in our favor, thank goodness.
We feel blessed.
Very.
Well, Phil, Misty, I just want to say thank you very much for your time. We all appreciate it, and we're looking forward to getting your message out. This has been super helpful, super encouraging and enlightening. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.